All right. Back for more action, no doubt. So here's my next thing, my next equation. So whenever I'm going to write an equation, I'm going to solve this twice. I'm going to multiply this out twice. So I think it's really important that whenever you're writing out a polynomial, is that you check that you write it down correctly. So here, what we're going to do is we're going to multiply this trinomial with this trinomial. Now, what we can do is we can use one of the two strategies. The first strategy is going to look like this. We take our first term, x squared, and we're going to multiply it to the whole the whole second polynomial. And then we take the next term and we multiply it, right? There's the next term, we multiply it by the whole next polynomial. There's a lot of copying down here. Now, we take this last term and we multiply it to the second polynomial. There. I'm just going to do a quick visual inspection and make sure that these terms are all the same. Good, right? Because that's my second polynomial. And I'm just going to make sure that x squared plus 2x minus 3 is in fact that first polynomial. And it is. Good. So I've set up this. And I could multiply this out. Now, am I going to multiply this out? Ooh. I guess if I'm expecting you to do it, I must do it. So what we've created, is a monomial times a trinomial. So really this is just x times x squared gives me x to the power 4. Let me hug that closer in there because I am going to run out of room. Right? Gives me x to the power 4. X squared times 2x. So x squared times 2x is plus 2x cubed. X squared times negative 1 is negative x squared. Then I move on to the next grouping of multiplications. 2x times x squared. Well, that's 2x cubed. And then 2x times 2x is 4x squared. 2x times negative 1 is minus 2x. So I'm done with this second grouping here. Now on to the last. Negative 3 times negative x squared, so that's negative 3x squared. Negative 3 times positive 2x is minus 6x. Negative 3 times negative 1 is positive 3. So, whoa, that was a lot of work. Whew. All right. So, I'm just going to group like terms. I'm going to go out there. Is there any term with x to the power 4? Because that seems to be my highest exponent. And there's only one term that is x to the power 4, and that would be this one. And then I go, hey, is there any term with x to the power 3? There's 1, 2, oh, there's only 2 of them. Good. So I'm just going to simply write those back to back. So, there we are. Did a little mental math instead. So I'm just going to set 2x to the power 3 plus 2x to the power 3. Is there any term now, x to the power 2? Well, we have this one, and this one. This is a lot of organization that needs to happen, and it needs to happen correctly. So that was minus x squared plus 4x squared minus 3x squared. All good. I think I got all that. And what is left over? Well, we have the exponent, or the power, just x. So minus 2x minus 6x. And what is left over is the constant of 3. Wow. This is a lot of work. But now I have it organized in small chunks. So this is 4x. If I combine these like terms, this is 4x cubed minus x plus 4, sorry, minus x squared plus 4x minus 3x squared. I notice that if I join these two up in mental math, that would be minus 4x squared. And so really, all the x squared terms are going to add to 0. Minus x squared plus 4x squared, it's positive 3x squared. Minus 3x squared, I just get with 0x squared. So I don't need to write anything for that. Last but not least, these two here, and minus 2x subtract 6x is minus 8x. Last but not least, we have a constant of plus 3. So this is really my answer that I'm hoping to replicate in my second question. All right, no worries. I'm just going to consider the second method of doing it. I'm just going to make sure that every term of my first polynomial, and there's 1, 2, 3 terms, kiss every term of my second polynomial in which there's 1, 2, 3 terms. So really, I have to do this multiplication, allow me to do that. X times x squared, that first one, right? This one times this one is going to give me x to the power of 4. X squared times 2x is going to be 2x to the power of 3. Now, maybe you might find it useful to put x to the power of 1 to help you out with these multiplications. So here, x squared times negative 1 now, and that would give me negative, x squared times negative 1, that's going to give me negative x squared. So I'm done with x squared, and I'm going to move on to the second term, so I need to do another 3 multiplications. So 2x to the power of 1 times x squared is going to be 2x to the power of 3. 2x times 2x is going to be 4x squared. 2x times negative 1 is going to be negative 2x. So far, so good. I'm hoping. So now I've almost done every term of my first polynomial, but there's still this last one. So I need to do an additional 3 multiplications. Negative 3 times x squared is negative 3x squared. Negative 3 times 2x is going to be minus 6x. Negative 3 times negative 1 is positive 3. So now I'm just going to reorganize this in like terms. This would be x to the power of 4, since there's only one term, x to the power of 4. I'm looking for any term with x to the power of 3. There's 1 and there's 1. So I'm going to just simply put them side by side. So 2x to the power of 3 plus 2x to the power of 3. That's great news. And then I'm going to put anything with the, by the way, I think the eraser got the best of this one. This was minus x squared. Anything with x to the power 2, there's 1, and there's another one. So I'm just going to write them down. And if you want, you can change the order of these. So I might choose to write it down like this, because I'm maybe better where integers, where I start with the positive integer. So now I look for anything with x to the power of 1, and we have 2 of those items. And I have minus x to the power of 1 minus 6x. Last but not least, I have a constant of 3. There we are. So I have x to the power of 4 because it's all by itself. Combining like terms, x to the power of 3, 2x to the power of 3 plus 2x to the power of 3 is 4x to the power of 3. And then let me move on to any term that has x squared. 4x squared minus 3x squared. We talked about this, and this is actually 0. So I'm not going to include that as a term. Why would I write 0 when I don't have to? I'm going to identify, or I'm going to calculate negative 2x minus 6x, and that's minus 8x. Last but not least, I'm just left with my constant of positive 3. And if you notice, this is my answer for the second method. This is my answer for the first method. And I'll be honest with you, thankfully they match up. This is a long road of multiplications. So when you multiply a trinomial with a trinomial, there is at least 9 multiplications. And from those 9 multiplications, you have to collect like terms. When you collect like terms, then you're able to finally state your answer. This is a long road. It's a long road in which the highest price should be paid for not making an error. Good luck.